Welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah, and in this video I want to ask you to help me select my next destination. If you watched my previous videos, you know that I left Ukraine after the war in Ukraine started on the 24th of February 2022, and until today I am staying in Warsaw, Poland. So I've been here for almost 1.5 months, and every day I'm thinking, what should I do with my life? What should be my next steps? And in this video, I will be sharing with you a few criteria that I have when I think about choosing my next country, and I will share a few options with you that are in front of me. So let's begin with the most important criteria that I have in mind when choosing my next destination. And the first thing would be climate. If you have seen some of my previous videos, you know that I spent 7 years in Asia, so I'm very used to very warm climates and just having summer all year round. I understand it's not the same thing here in Europe, but still I would prefer countries that are warmer and with mild winters and with a lot of sunshine throughout the year. The next criteria would be general economic development, and this for me includes access to different goods and services, as well as access to medical care, education, and job opportunities. So the next criteria is safety. This means low crime rates, as well as just generally feeling safe. So I have been traveling around the world a lot, and I have been staying in multiple countries for a couple of months, and there were countries that I felt safer in, and there are countries that I felt not so safe in. And when I was spending almost 7 years in Asia, I was always feeling safe. Even when I go out at 10 or 11 o'clock and I'm just walking by myself, I always feel generally safe. And I would like to feel this in the next country where I'm going to go to. Criteria number 4 is access to nature and just walkability of the city. So my experience living in Asia is that cities are built for cars or motorbikes, and they were not built for pedestrians, so there's very limited access and ability to walk anywhere in Asia. And as I walk a lot in Ukraine, I walk everywhere. Cities are very, very compact, so I would like to have this opportunity in the next country where I'm gonna go to. And also it's very important for me to have access to nature, so things such as parks, for example, are important, or access to like a river or seaside. It would be amazing. And the last but definitely not the least criteria on my list is culture. I would really like to go to the place with a little bit laid back and relaxed culture, and I think that's why I really loved living in Southeast Asia, because people there are more relaxed. They're not taking life so seriously, and they're always able to look for opportunities to smile and joke, and they also have this element of being childlike even when they're adults. So now let me introduce the countries that I was thinking about when choosing my next destination. So the first category of countries that I was thinking about were Scandinavian countries, and specifically Sweden and Denmark. Denmark is called the happiest nation in the world a couple of years in a row, and they have their own elements of culture that help them be that happy. They also have very secure life. They have strong welfare states in Scandinavian countries, and people feel secure and people feel protected by the state. These countries also have great work-life balance. I know that people are not overworking there. For example, in Sweden, they have this concept of fika, when they have like a tea or coffee with some sweets 2 times a day when they're working. So all those factors, I really think that they create great quality of life, and these could be a great countries to go to. But on the other hand, when I'm thinking about Scandinavian countries, these are northern countries, and this means that for about half a year it will be dark and it will be cold, and this is a big deal for me when choosing a country. Climate plays a great role, and that's why in my head I'm like, will I be able to handle this? The next country is Germany, and I know there are so many Ukrainian refugees who went to Germany right now after the war started. Some of them, they do have family in Germany, others they don't, and they just know that Germany is a great welfare state and they're accepting a lot of refugees. On the pros side, of course, Germany is a stable economy, it's a great welfare state, it has a great system, it has a lot of multicultural communities, especially in cities like Berlin. There's also a lot of job opportunities, there is a lot of startups, and international companies. On the other hand, I am not sure about safety situation. I have been to Germany only for about a week, and I was traveling from city to city just for a couple of days, and I didn't feel like it's unsafe for me to be there. But on the other hand, I didn't go to some weird areas, if there's any like that, and I also was not wandering around in the evening, so I don't know how I would feel there. And yeah, this is a question in my mind still. The next country on my list is Spain, and on the one hand, I have always thought about Spain as a holiday destination. On the other hand, I know there's a lot of people, even my ex-colleagues, that went to Barcelona specifically. They live in Barcelona, they work online for different international clients, and they really enjoy their lifestyle and their quality of life there. There is a lot of sun throughout the year. It's warm, the culture is laid back, and it could be one of the great places to be. Right now, they opened a governmental program to support Ukrainian refugees who's coming there. So if I'm not mistaken, they will help you to find accommodation. They will also send you to learn the language for free, and then they will help you to get a job. On the other hand, I am not sure about safety situation in Spain. Again, I have not been to many places in Spain. I've only been to Barcelona for a couple of days, so I felt very safe there. It was okay. But on the other hand, I know that my friend lived in Malaga for a few months, and she got her laptop stolen just in front of her in a cafe. And also she said that in her building there were people who just like basically got into an apartment next to her and they started living there. And I just think it's very terrifying and scary to think that it could be your apartment and you could be there at that time. The next country is Portugal. And I'll tell you that I have been to Portugal, and I spent 2 months living in Lisbon and traveling around a little bit in 2018. So generally speaking, I really like the country. I like the culture a lot. People are really chill and laid back. I know that economic situation is not the best in Portugal. Maybe there's not so many jobs, but I also know that I could get a job remotely, and I have been working remotely even before COVID started. So this is not like a new thing for me, and this should not be a big problem for me as well. So when I'm thinking about Portugal, I'm also thinking about cost of living. Portugal should be one of the cheapest countries in Western Europe. I'm also thinking, of course, about great climate, mild winters, a lot of sun during the whole year. I also know that there is a huge multicultural community in Portugal. They're very receptive to migrants and different cultures. And also Portugal right now gives 1-year visa for Ukrainian refugees. And the last country that I want to talk about is actually the country that I'm in today, and this is Poland. I have stayed in Poland for the past 1.5 months, and my experience has been amazing. People have been very friendly and supportive. So the first thing I want to mention is that Ukrainian people are allowed to stay in Poland for 18 months. The second thing is Poland is very close to Ukraine. I'm a couple of hours away from my home. Poland also has pretty stable and growing economy, and it has been growing for the past couple of years, and there should be a lot of job opportunities here as well. And finally, Poland feels very safe. It feels really the same like Ukraine, to be honest. Polish culture is very similar to Ukrainian culture. Polish language is very similar to Ukrainian language because it's Slavic languages, so I can read signs on the street, I can read labels in a supermarket even without learning the language. So the one drawback that I see about Poland at this time is that there are so many Ukrainian refugees in Poland at the moment. This means that prices are rising, especially prices for accommodation. And I know that most of Ukrainian people are trying to rent short-term accommodation around 3 months, and then they're hoping to go back home to Ukraine when it's safe to go back. Even the long-term accommodation became very expensive. And then I'm thinking, okay, if I have to spend this much money on accommodation here in Poland, isn't it better to go, for example, to Spain or Portugal and pay the same money there and then just have access to the seaside and just a warmer climate and just enjoy my everyday life there more? So basically right now I have so many thoughts, and every day I'm like changing my mind. Should I go? Should I stay? What should I do? And I'm really hoping that you guys can help me sort this out. And give me your perspective and your opinion. And if you know something about the countries that I mentioned, or maybe you have lived in one of the countries, or maybe you are from one of the countries, please comment below this video and let me know what you think. Let me know which country is the best based on my criteria to go to next. And if you like this video and you would like to follow my journey as a Ukrainian refugee abroad, please like this video, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so you can get notified when my next videos go out.